The Everyday VOpreneur Summer Series episodes have been all about answering the pressing business and marketing questions that you all, the VOpreneurs, have. I've been inviting voice actors onto the show all summer and giving them the opportunity to ask a question and get it answered. And this week, I'm welcoming onto the show Woody Scott. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thanks, Marc. It's great to be here.
So tell me, what is your pressing business and marketing related question?
Okay, so when I was doing research on LinkedIn and Twitter and other venues, I found that there were expired copyrights, insecure pages, some to no activity. Um, say AI speculation,
Okay.
posted in English, but it takes you on a journey to the Middle East with a Middle Eastern page language, and but still, I don't know when to. I'm not sure as to when to give slack to the websites for not having certain information.
So really what you're trying to figure out is I've found a potential voiceover lead
Yeah.
through whatever social media, Google search or whatever. Now I want to just determine before I spend a lot of time researching and reaching out,
Yep.
is the lead worth it? Is this worth my time? So
Yes.
we're looking for vetting strategies to help us figure out whether or not it's worth it to actually put in the time investment to make the contact, which is totally fair. So there are a few different things that I will look at in order to try to vet whether or not a lead is good or whether or not it's somebody that I want to work with. So the first thing is I want to check their website and check their portfolio. And I think that there's a lot that can be learned from just checking their portfolio. First of all, has the portfolio been updated sometime in the last, year, 2 years, 3 years? And admittedly, this is not always an exact science because some places just don't update their portfolio or they use a service like Vimeo or YouTube. But I still want to check the portfolio. Is it updated? That's one thing I'm looking for. Another thing I'm looking for, is there an obvious use of voiceover in the videos? So you do a search for corporate video production and all of the videos that are on their website and in their portfolio are like talking head videos. There's a lower probability that they're using voiceover. So I use that as a way to vet. And then the third thing that I'm looking for from the portfolio is what is the quality of the videos? Because I think the quality of the videos can say a lot as well. Does it look like an animated explainer video that's been created with a $99 monthly subscription service off of the internet that you or I could sign up for and create tomorrow? Or does this look like a very high quality, professionally produced video? The animation is great. The storyline is great. The voiceover is great, right? We can learn a lot about the quality of a video just by listening to the quality of the voiceover. I mean, if you're a professional voice actor, it's not too hard for us to tell this sounds like it was recorded on somebody's phone in their bathroom. And, this sounds like it was recorded in a professional studio. So checking the portfolio, I think that's number one on the list. I think you can learn a lot by looking at that portfolio. I think the other thing that I'm looking at is their social media. Now, you mentioned I'm finding some of these leads on social media, so it sounds like you're already doing that. But are their social media profiles updated, or do they have social media where, they haven't tweeted since 2018 or something like that? Now, again, maybe not the most accurate measure. A lot of people have abandoned Twitter in the last little while. Maybe they've signed up and they've started using Threads. I don't know. But just looking at their social media to see, are they there? Are they present? Are they consistent? Does it look like they're engaging at all with people, or are they just, cranking out
Mhm.
automated pre-scheduled content or whatever? But that can be insightful as to trying to determine, is the company still here? Is it still active? Is a legitimate company? I think another thing that you can look for, and again, this is on their website, but do they have a pricing page? Not all companies will do it, but some will. And if I go onto a video production site and I see that they're producing videos for $500, that's pretty telling to me, right? Like, I'm not getting $350 for a 60-second narration if they're only charging $500 for the whole entire video. And so that becomes a really easy way to potentially rule somebody out. Whereas if they're talking about, $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 budgets, there's probably money there. Voice actors are probably getting compensated fairly. So that's definitely another thing to look for. Another one that I think that we don't do enough is looking for reviews.
Mm.
And there are a lot of places where you can look for reviews. If a company has a Google business page, you do that Google search, you'll see if there's a Google review. If they've got a Facebook page, there may be reviews on their Facebook page. Glassdoor is another great site where people will sometimes leave reviews. So I think there's a few different options there to look for, to see, just to find out if you
Yeah.
satisfied customers and, average 4 or 5 star reviews, or unsatisfied customers and 1 star reviews. That can be something that is very revealing. And then I think the one other thing that you could potentially look for, when all else fails, there is a Facebook group that is called Voiceover Red Flags. And I will admit openly that I have done a few searches in the past when I've gone to a website or looked at a lead, and it's kind of got my spidey senses tingling a little bit about whether or not this is legit, or is this a company I want to work with. A quick search of Voiceover Red Flags just to see, has any other voice actor ever complained about this company? And that group is a private members only group on Facebook. You have to be accepted into the group, and you exist in the cone of silence in that group. But that makes it possible for us to be able to share openly about, yeah, this place was great, or this place, no, you want to stay away from this place, and here's why.
Yeah.
So those are a few things that you can look at. Does that do any of those ring true for you, or any of those you're like, oh, I never thought about that before?
Well, there was, the reviews, I never even thought of that, so I think that's an excellent, resource, plus the, having, a group that you mentioned that it's on Facebook, you know, to have a go-to,
Yep.
to see, what's happening, while you're trying to decipher the website. So, yes, thank you, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's something where I don't want to spend a ton of time, right? Because it's really easy to fall down the rabbit hole of, all of a sudden it's like an hour later and you're still deep diving trying to figure out whether or not this lead is legitimate or not. And I think most of the things that I just mentioned, these are things that you can figure out in a couple of minutes, right? A couple of quick searches, couple of strategic clicks on a website to certain pages, and you can figure out pretty quickly, yes, this is good. No, maybe this isn't.
Mhm.
Trust your gut seldom
Yeah.
lies. And then the other thing to remember too is there are enough leads out there that if you make a decision to pass on a few because you're just not sure,
Mhm.
it's not like you're probably going to run out anytime soon. So there's plenty of fish in the sea, as it were, plenty of other places where we can go to find those opportunities, right?
Absolutely. I'll be spending a lot of time doing the thing.
Yep. And that's it, right? Spend more time sending emails than you spend trying to decide whether or not you should
Yeah,
send the email.
yeah.
But grabbing a couple of those things like we talked about, particularly the portfolio page. And by the way, I mentioned not everybody updates their portfolio page. So it is worth taking a quick peek to see, do they have a YouTube channel? Do they have a Vimeo channel? Vimeo is very popular in the production community. A lot of people will curate their content and their portfolio on Vimeo. So it's worth taking a quick peek there too, to see
Mm,
whether or not they've got anything going on, or if they've updated any videos there or anything like that. And so and that also becomes an engagement platform as well. Vimeo's built just like a social network. You can leave
mm,
comments, you can like videos, you can build out playlists and all that sort of stuff as well.
yeah, that's good to know. Thank you.
All
That
right.
really is.
Well, does that help? Does that answer your
Oh,
question?
absolutely. Yes, I'll be looking for that, and I will be re-listening to this webcast to catch up on all those great points. Thank you so much.
Right on. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Woody. Great question. And I know if it's helpful to you, it's going to be helpful to some other people who are listening as well. So thank you for asking.
Okay, you're welcome.